All right, everybody, we're going to go through the 17U gold team from this weekend. Some mixed results here. Did get 4 games in, and we had 2 wins, 2 losses. And we're going to look at it statistically, each game, some observations. And I watched every possession of every game. We're going to then go through some season-long statistics and things I think are worth mentioning. All right, so CT Select, this is the first game where you guys won pretty handily by 21 in that kind of showcase game. And as not surprisingly, when you win by 21, your numbers are really, really strong. I have to say. I mean, and across both teams, I mean, your effective field goal percentage, I mean, is really. I don't have a lot to complain about in most games, but we'll go through game by game. Effective field goal percentage 57%. As I mentioned, anything over 50 is really strong. Turnover rate 9%, just almost elite. I mean, you want to keep that under 20. The offensive rebound percentage, I really like it to get closer to 30. Once you start getting under 30%, you run the risk of just giving too many more shots away to the other team. Okay. And again, the more shots you let the other team take, the better it is for them. We'll get to some games that give you a good example of that pretty soon. Okay. So again, while you guys are very efficient offensively, the offensive rebound percentage is something you have to keep an eye on. And what's cool about that is that there are things you could do personnel-wise based on these numbers that I might recommend. But we'll get to that. Let's just get through some more of this. Let's go through other stats here. So 9 for 20 from 3. He only got to the line 7 times, but it was pretty cakewalkish type game. But with the exception of the offensive rebound percentage, very workmanlike performance. Let's look at some individuals from this game. You had X, who is basically the man. He was 6 for 10, including 2 for 3 from 3, 14 points. Everybody else just kind of did their thing. You know, Ryan, 3 for 6 from 3, perfect. You had Roddy, 2 for 4 from 3. Jackson didn't miss a shot. Mackay didn't have to do much. He was fine. Only 2 offensive rebounds for him, and only 4 for the team. And that could run you into problems one of these days. CJ didn't have any points, and Cam only had 1 point. You think in a game where you won by 20, you have most everybody participate, which is not the usual situation. Anyway, Chris, 6 points, 0 for 2 from 3, 3 for 7 overall. This was not his best game. He had some better ones. Shot chart looks just great. Not for them, but for you. Everything pretty much where we wanted from 3 and right at the rim. Only a couple of outliers. So offensively, no real complaints from this game, except that offensive rebound percentage, which again could run into a problem one of these days. So now let's get to next game, which is the primetime game where you guys lost. Kind of a shootout, 89-79 or 89-80. Let's take a look. And this was definitely a shootout. And from an offensive perspective, I mean, look at this. You have 63% effective field goal percentage. That's just insane at this level of a tournament. Turnover rate maybe a little higher than I'd want, but you get this 10% offensive rebound percentage, and that is going to be death, as you will see. Because when you compare your stats to your opponents, they were efficient enough. They were 50.7% effective field goal percentage, but they had a really strong offensive rebound percentage and 89.7% defensive rebound percentage. And you see what happens, right? When you just don't get any offensive rebounds, you just get less shots. I mean, look at this. Despite your effective field goal percentage, look at your total shots. You were 31 for 56 and 9 for 16 from the line, right? Where these guys got off 68 shots. They got off 12 more shots than you. So, if they're going to behave almost remotely efficiently at 50%, and you're going to give them 12 more shots, you're going to have a big problem, you know? So you kind of wasted, I don't want to say wasted, you had a game where offensively you were just great, you know, and as I mentioned, you guys are usually really good offensively. You usually take the right shots, and both these squads, but the offensive rebound percentage could pose a problem, which is exactly what happened here. Let's look at the shot chart from here. It's the same game. Yeah, wait, let's pull up the, I don't know why I defaulted to that, but let's get to the primetime shot chart, which you'll see is really strong. Again, most everything you're going to want is from three or right at the rim. Just a couple outliers, but overall, offensively, really strong. But the offensive rebound percentage is what killed you in this game. Let's look at the individuals from the primetime game. So what stands out here? Chris, my Lord, what a game to waste. I mean, wow. 21 points, 8 for 10, 1 for 2 from 3 in a loss. Mackay, 8 for 10. I would have traded a couple of those buckets for a board, man. You guys had 3 offensive rebounds. Ouch. You know, it's just hard to win like that. But I have a couple of recommendations that I'll make at the end of this. You might not like them, but that's just what it's going to be. I mean, when this is the reason why you're losing is just, you know, the offensive rebound percentage, you can make some personnel changes to combat that. But we'll get to that after we get through all the other games. All right, let's go back to statistics. And let's do the third game, which was your win over Riverside. Pretty handy win there. Effective field goal percentage, not so great for you guys in this game. 46%, not the end of the world, but we would like to keep it over 50. But here your offensive rebound percentage was a little stronger at 30%. Turnover rate, really, really good. I'm just curious. Let me take a look at the shot chart before getting into the individuals for this game. So not prime time. We want the Riverside shot chart. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with your shot selection here, really. I mean, quite honestly, you just didn't make your shots. You know, you were 0 for 7 from 3 from here, 1 for 6 from here. And that's just, you know, I actually don't mind this. You know, if you're going to lose because you're taking good shots that just aren't going in according to your sample sized average, I mean, I that really doesn't bother me at all. That's being results oriented. And I think that your 46% effective field goal percentage was just honestly an outlier. I mean, you keep taking these shots from where you're taking them. I mean, that's, you know, you're going to be just fine. Let's take a look at individuals. Individuals, who do we got here? Across the board, but Roddy, 4 for 9 from 3, 5 for 11 from the field. Ryan Weiss, well, this is it. You know, he was 1 for 9 from 3. Does that mean he's not supposed to take any threes anymore? Of course not. I mean, he's a freaking ace. So, I mean, you just let him keep taking those shots. And every once in a while, he's going to go 1 for 9. That's just the bottom line, you know, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't be taking them. I have just literally no issues, anything. And that's why you look into these numbers. You don't just say, okay, 46% bad day. It's, you know, you listen, you took good shots. They don't go in. That's kind of like up to the basketball gods. I mean, that's unfortunately the reality here. So who else? I mean, nobody really, I mean, particularly great or terrible. Good game from Chris again, 12 points, 4 for 9, 4 for 4 from the line. Xavier, you know, not quite as good, 6 points, but overall, really, really strong. Really, really no complaints. So let's get to this this horror show game, this caveman game where you lost by 19. I want to get to the bottom of this one because I didn't really figure out what was going on there. Well, let's take a look. So first of all, effective field goal percentage is under par. Not good. We want it over 50. Turnover rate is okay. Again, it's below 20, so that's fine, but not elite. Offensive rebound percentage, again, below 30. Not great. Okay. Like comparing that to your opponents. Yeah, this is brutal. I mean, you're giving up all the offensive rebounds. And when you give up offensive rebounds, this is what happens. You give up 60 shots. These guys weren't that much better than you were efficiency-wise, but they got off 59 shots. And what'd you get off? 44. I mean, how are you going to win, right? You give someone, like, let's say you have a shooting contest, I'll give you 15 more shots than me. Really? And then that's what happens. So again, another game where your efficiency wasn't bad, but the offensive rebound percentages just buried you. Let's take a look at the shot chart, Joe, and let's just shot chart though. Let's just make sure that we are staying on path. Yeah, overall, pretty good shot chart here. Not a lot of these mid-rangers. 3, 4, 5 out of 44 shots were mid-rangers. That's fine. We want to keep it around 10%. He didn't shoot that great from 3 here again. 1 for 7. Not bad overall. 2 for 8, 2 for 10, 4 for 3. I mean, not bad from 3. I mean, not great, but not the worst. But you just gave up too many shots. And the offensive rebound percentage, and that's all games you suffered, and 2 of them cost you the win. Let's look at some individuals here. Not from Riverside. I don't know why it keeps defaulting to that. Nothing to speak of here. Mackay made his shots around the rim. Very nice. Roddy missed everything. Mike missed everything. Nothing particularly wrong with the shot selection here, though. Chris missed everything. Just they got 12, 15 more shots than you. And it's kind of hard to think about it that way, but that's really the bottom line, right? If you shoot almost as well as they do, but they shoot that many more shots, you're just going to lose. That's why you want to keep control of the ball with your turnover rate and get as many offensive rebounds as you can, more than they get. And that's just it. I mean, if you want to know the truth, and this is kind of tough to say, but in a situation like this, where you're so efficient with your scoring, maybe you manage minutes a little bit where you put a little more size out there. Because the thing about offensive rebound percentages and rebounding in general, it's just not as easy to just say, gotta rebound better. You know what I mean? Like, it's not so easy to say, be tougher. You know what I mean? It's not so easy. There are things you could do as coaches to kind of help that. You know, you give them a little more rebounding on the court. You know, maybe you play defense where you're packed in just a little bit more instead of denying so much. Things like that. But something as silly as just giving more minutes to, I don't know, to Mike, you know, or you know what you could do to improve your offensive rebound percentage? You could just make sure, and by definition, improve your defensive rebound percentage. In other words, keep them off the glass. Is just tell your guards to just kind of sprint to help rebound. You know, even something like that to control the rebounding a little bit. But what I've done and what I've seen people do is take these statistics and just say, listen, I'm too efficient offensively. In other words, like, I don't need any help with my shot selection or my shooting. I just need a little more size. So I'll even sacrifice a little bit of my shots to bring in somebody with a little more size. You know, maybe some more minutes with, I don't know, with CJ, Mike, Ryan, and Mackay all on the court at the same time, you know, as opposed to having, say, X and Chris, or, you know what I mean, or X and Roddy, or X, Roddy, and Chris, all on the court at the same time. And that's one way to use these statistics to your advantage, is to see where your weaknesses really lie, even in your wins. The offensive rebound and by definition, the defensive rebound percentage of the other team, whatever, you have to kind of help that a little bit. And again, your offensive rebound percentage, you can make sure you tell even your wins to make sure you're crashing. You just can't give up that many more shots to your opponent. Okay, let's take a look at some season stats now, and I think it's worth doing. Let's look at stats for the whole season, and I want you to think about this. I want you to think about who is your best three-point shooter, who is your best free throw shooter, who has the best field goal percentage, who do you really want taking shots? I mean, we're through like 11 games. I mean, it's almost a sample size, it's almost relevant. So I think that you need to pay attention to this. So let's look all season, select things. Okay. So we're going to look at it by athlete and by total. So the first thing I like to do is rank guys by effective field goal percentage and see how many of them are over 50. And we'll look at it. And you guys are great. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys over 50% effective field goal percentage, 7. And I will tell you that, my teams that I prided myself on being super efficient with whatever talent I had over there. And I, at the most, had 5 with effective field goal percentage over 50. And you guys are really good players, and you, for the most part, make really, really good decisions. So this is why most everybody's over 50%. Let's take a look at your 3-point field goal percentage. But before I do that, I'd like to keep this checklist of, I want to make sure everybody's shooting over 50% from 2 or over 33% from 3, because those are your baselines, right? And that's what every player should have their checklist. Am I shooting either 50% from 2 or 33% from 3? Because you want a shot that a person is going to be able to take. So let's take a look. Let's look at 2-pointers. Let's just look at 2-point percentage over 50. Almost everybody's fine. Roddy Jackson struggling from 2. Probably a lot of floaters, things like that. Cam struggling from 2. Again, probably a lot of those crown floaters. So these guys, when they're trying to get to the rim, they got to either finish or just not try to even get to the rim, supposed to look, well, Chris is getting there, so X is getting there. Let's look at 3-point percentages. Okay. So who's over 33%? We have several. Forget CJ, only small sample size. Your best 3-point shooter from a percentage standpoint is actually Roddy at 44%. Then you have Ryan at 39. Then you have Jackson, and now we have a sample size issue. We're not have that many. So I don't know how much I would put stock in this, but 36% from him. Cam 33. Jackson, not Jackson. X kind of struggles from here, about 28%. Chris struggles big time from here, 26%. So again, it's important to know this, and I think it's important for the kids to know this too, because as a player, I want to know who shoots it well for real, not just who I think shoots it well, but who actually shoots it well. And if you're Chris and you're about to take a 3 and you see, for example, Ryan or Roddy open, you shouldn't take that shot. And likewise, I mean, it goes both ways. Like if you have Ryan's holding the ball, knowing that he's a 39% 3-point shooter, and he sees Chris open, if he passes it to him, he's made a bad play, So you have Roddy, Ryan, these are obviously your 2 top shooters, but Roddy's just as good as Ryan, which might be surprising to you. Maybe not. But I would really just look at this and make sure that kids know that these are really your 3-point shooters. Like X, I really don't want him shooting 3s. I mean, look, better than taking a floater, but before he takes a 3, see if one of these other guys is open. Chris, I don't want him taking a 3. I don't. you have too many other options. But at this point, you're going to tell them not to take a wide open three. Well, that's that depends on your philosophy, right? Free throws, you guys are all awesome. I mean, let's just take a look at it. As a team, 36% from three, just excellent. Free throw, 76%, just excellent. Okay. So I guess mid-season, or mid-season. It's a mid-season, whatever. It's only April. But my after first live period assessment with this group, maybe do a little bit more with the rebounding, whether it be drilling it, whether it be scheming it a little bit better, or personnel adjustments, and just have the kids a little more aware of who the shooters are on this team. But overall, I think you guys are taking great shots, and the results and statistics bear that out. That'll do it for now.